Hello again, I'm Rob, aka Podman from the SEnuke forums, and today I'm going to show you something that's pretty cool, and that's the SEnuke wizard and the turbo wizard. Now the wizard lets anybody create a professionally designed SEO campaign in a couple of minutes, and the turbo wizard goes one step further, and you could actually complete a campaign in about 1 minute. Now anybody who's used the wizard before in SEnuke XCR, when they get TNG, you'll see that it has been changed quite a lot. A number of the old clicks that you used to have to do have been removed, and the whole process has been streamlined and speeded up and made more efficient. It's also much more automatic, as you'll see as we go through this. Now the first thing you'll see is on the left hand side here you have all the different project types that SEnuke supports. We'll not go through them all today. There will be proper training videos to discuss what each of them do. But in summary, to create a linking diagram, all you need to do is drag on the various different projects that you're interested in and then draw links between them. So what we've done here, very simply, is we have our money site, which is your own website, and to that we have linked the Premium Social Network. Premium Social Network are generally sites that are unique to SEnuke. They're not platform based. Every single one of them has to be programmed in specially just to work with SEnuke. These are generally very high authority sites, and you get a lot of ranking respect from the links created by these. Below that we have put a standard social network. Standard social network is pretty similar. The main difference is these are mostly platform based. Now a platform is where many sites use the same software to run. For instance, most of you probably have blogs, and there's a good chance your blogs are running on WordPress. Well, WordPress is the platform. Now don't worry too much if you're new to all this and you have no idea how to link your different projects together. We have included multiple different templates in SEnuke for years. These are all the old SEnuke XCR templates. But you'll be glad to know you're getting a huge number of new ones with TNG. So let me just open up one of them and just zoom the screen out a bit so we can see what we're looking at. Basically we've created a money site in the middle here, and we're linking that with a premium social network and a standard social network. The premium social network is going to be backlinked by web profiles and WordPress, WordPress being your own blog network which you can put into SEnuke. You'll also see something new here for SEnuke, and that's the Wait project. Previously, the old SEnuke XCR would work non-stop through a campaign, which wasn't the most efficient way sometimes because it's not perhaps totally natural to work that way. So in SEnuke TNG we now have the Wait project, and you can put in a pause of a number of days between two projects. So now once this premium network, social network has run, it will stop. SEnuke will stop for 5 days, which we set it up here 5 days, and then after that 5 days has elapsed, it will then continue with the campaign and run the social network that's here. Now, as I said, we'll go through all of this in the proper training videos, but I can assure you that this is a very easy, exciting and powerful way of creating strategic campaigns. You can literally have absolutely no idea of what you're doing and just go through this wizard and you'll come out an expert on the other end. So after we've set up the diagram, the next thing is to start populating it with information. Now this is where things get really interesting, and we move light years ahead of what SEnuke XCR could do. The first thing you need to do is to give your campaign a name. We were doing dog training with our articles the other day, so we'll just continue with dog training. Now here you'll see that we can set 4 different types of keywords. We can set primary keywords, secondary keywords, generics, and any other sort of keyword that you can think of. That could just be your URLs or anything you want. Now your primary keyword is the main keyword you're interested in, and in this case would be dog training. Generally speaking, we recommend 1 primary keyword. You can put a few more in here, but it's more efficient if you just stick with 1 primary keyword each time. We definitely recommend not going above 5. Now to the right of that you'll see there is a secondary keyword. This is generally long tail keywords. These are keywords which contain your primary keyword but are a longer version of it. Now we have an automatic way of doing this. All you need to do is press the generate from primary keyword, wait a few seconds, and we will get some long tail keywords straight from Google actually. These are the Google suggestions from your area. If we scroll through, you can see that everything we have has the word dog training in it somewhere. They're all long tail variations of the primary keyword. And there's a good long list. Now you can set a percentage so that at the moment by default 100% of all the keywords that are generated are going to be dog training. But if you want to set it so that say 50-50, all you need to do is scroll up here and you'll now have 50% will be secondary keywords and 50% will be primary keywords. I'm going to set it to 60-40 And we do exactly the same with our URLs. I'm just going to use a generic dogs.com here. Now we have primary, secondary and other URLs here. Most of the time you're only going to use the primary and the secondary, and the way you would use this is the primary would be the page you're actually targeting, which usually would be an inner page or a sub page, and then the secondary URL would be the root domain, and then you could set it, typical would be a 2080. So 20% of all the links created will go to the URL, and then 80% will be going to the inner URL. Again, this is completely customizable to however you want it, but a 60-40 and an 80-20 ratio is a pretty good start. Now up here you'll see the answer to many SEnuke XCR people's dreams, and that is, how many profiles should I run with that campaign? All you need to do is click suggest. An algorithm will be run based upon the project linking diagram that we've already created and tell you the best number of profiles to use. It suggested we only use one, so we only use one. So now you can see with just a couple of clicks we have generated a beautiful list of secondary keywords, and we've set up the percentages. We're creating a natural set of links using multiple different keywords and all linking to different pages within our site. So next we have to set up names, tags and titles for everything. Now again, this is where we see massive improvements over SEnuke XCR. This page is much quicker than it used to be. Our tags we can generate automatically, just generate from primary keyword. Then our user profile we can generate automatically, just auto generate. If for some reason you don't like it, you can generate as many as you want. The company name here is generally only used on the press release nuke. We'll just call ourselves Dog Incorporated. Titles here are not used on most of the projects. This is something that most users will never come across. These titles will only basically be used if you're backlinking to a profile, which is a very unusual technique to use. It is done occasionally, but in most cases these will never be used, but it is auto-generated. And select categories here. The categories are where your article will be posted on article sites. The best thing you can do is to type in some words that are related to your niche. And then select categories. You'll see wherever possible it will pick one that's based on your niche. Obviously some of the categories on some of the sites do not relate to every niche. Obviously I would say that may well be a law site. You can click a few times and see. There we are, we're not bad. You'll never be perfect on the categories because obviously there are hundreds and hundreds of sites in SEnuke, and some of those sites are specific to certain things, and so they don't have a specific category for everything. But that's pretty much it. We've now set up everything for the nuke itself, and all we need to do now is put in the content and then schedule it. The content screen is where the article manager comes in. Here we will select the articles we want for our tier 1. We set up our tier 1 content the other day, so we just simply select tier 1. We also select our tier 2, and our tier 2 content we set up the other day. Now the tier 1, as I mentioned, tier 1 would be this premium social network here, and this normal social network here. Everything else is tier 2 and beyond. So all these WordPresses, social networks, forum profiles, Web 2, etc., all those are tier 2 and beyond. Now we don't have any bookmarks in this project, so we don't set up any bookmarks. In fact, it won't even let us set any bookmarks because there are no bookmarks in it. Now if you were just doing a quick nuke and you really didn't want to set up the article manager, perhaps there's something that just happened on the news and you wanted to get a nuke out real fast without going through the process of setting up your content first, you can use this generate single use articles. And that ties into all the article sources we have, the free ones from eZine, Article Builder, Leading Articles, Content Machine and Article Forge. So you can select any of those and download an article from any of their categories. Now even though this is single use, you don't actually lose the articles, because once they've been downloaded they will actually be automatically placed into the article manager. So you can use them again in future articles, future campaigns if you want. We're going to use the article manager content because that is the best way to work with SEnuke. Now if we want to, of course, we can check our content and do a quick spin preview. And we can see that there we are, we've got a lovely little picture as we showed the other day. And in this case it's dropping our link down in the generic sentence at the bottom. And here we've got a contextual dog trading in the article itself. And again, we got another contextual here, and the pictures moving around. All good. So that's it. We've actually set up the entire campaign now, and all we have to do is schedule it and set it off to go. Now, SEnuke TNG answers another big question of all previous SEnuke users. How long should I run my campaign for? All you need to do is click the suggest button, and a formula is used to predict the best time to run your campaign. In this case, it's 11 days. It's a fairly large campaign because it's got 3 different tiers, so we knew it was going to be a decent amount of time to run it. You then simply select the time you want it to run. It will default to about half an hour from the current time, but you can set it to run any time in the future you want. Now I'm just going to set this to run actually in 2017, just so it doesn't accidentally start running in the next few days when I don't want it to, because this is just an example that I'm creating for you guys. Now lastly here we have loop mode. Loop mode allows you to set a campaign so that it will run over and over and over again. So you only have to set up a campaign once, and then it will run as many times as you want. You can set a specific number of times. We can set it to run 10 times, or you can say I just want this to run forever, and just click the infinite button. You can also tell it to pause between each run, so it will run the campaign once to the end, and then you can say, well, it's an 11-day campaign, so let's run it once, and then we'll pause for 5 days, and then we'll run it again. And then as we've set infinite, it will pause for another 5 days, and then run again, pause, run, and so on forever. Now, by default, that's using the same accounts over and over again. And you don't always necessarily want to do that, so you can also set it to create new accounts each time. But you might not want it to create new accounts for everything. So you can click into the reuse sites, and we can say, well, we would like to reuse the social network, the premium social network and the normal social network, and we'll reuse the bookmarks. Now what that means is that every time it goes through, it will post to the same set of social network accounts and the same set of social network premium accounts, and use the same bookmarking accounts over and over again. And that just builds up authority on those accounts and makes them more powerful and helps your sites rank. And authority definitely builds up. I have article directory sites from SEnuke from years ago. We're talking 2009, 2010, and they'd reached a PR level of 5, and that was before Google went and killed PR. So they were PR 5 a couple of years ago. What they are now, I have no idea. They're going to be higher. Authority builds over time. So if you reuse, you post quality content, you will build up authority, and you will increase the power of SEnuke TNG tenfold. And that's the whole campaign set up. We've gone from start to finish in a couple of minutes, and that's even with me explaining it all to you. If you're just going through on your own, you can do this in a couple of minutes at most. So all you need to do is click on the next, and then we click on finished, and it will export and build the campaign for us. First thing it will do is download an email. The emails are free in SEnuke, so you've got no problems there. After it's done that, it will populate all the projects, create everything for us. It takes just a few seconds, even though it's doing a heck of a lot of work. And that's it. We have created a fully optimized SEO campaign with a large number of different project types, which will all run one after the other absolutely perfectly, creating hundreds of backlinks to your website over a period of 11 days. Now while we're on this page, let me just show you one thing which is really cool in TNG. That's in the account creation project. If you look down here, we have retried failed submissions. Now this typically brings in another 15-20% links, and all that does is after it has done the account creation once, that it's created all the accounts on all the different websites that you've selected, it will pause and wait for the amount of time here, which is 5 minutes in this case, and then it will reset and it will go back through for all the ones that it might have failed on for various reasons and try them again. This is a well-known tactic that we've used with SEnuke XCR manually for a long time, and you always had to come back in and redo the account creations yourself and wait and then do everything by hand. Whereas now with SEnuke TNG, we just have this option that automatically does this, and you will see that the difference is quite impressive. So that was with the normal wizard, but what if we wanted to do the same thing with the turbo wizard? Well, you'll see it's even faster. The Turbo Wizard is a massive improvement over SEnuke XCR. It's actually really usable now. You'll see that we have about 90% of everything that's in the wizard is here in the Turbo Wizard. The only real differences are you don't have the diagram designer and you don't have some of the custom settings. Now the diagram designer, if you want to create your own templates, you need to go through the wizard at least once and create them there, but you can then save them from the main wizard and then use them here in this wizard, the turbo wizard, in the future. So if we just quickly set up the same campaign that we did a few minutes ago, we'll auto generate our secondary keywords. We've typed in the primary of dog training. We'll set the percentage the same as before, which was 40% for these and 60% for the main. This was the inner page here, and we were just going to use the primary page, the home page, as the secondary one. Forgotten how to type, and we set those as 2080. We can generate our tags automatically, and we can give it a campaign name if we want. If you don't give it a campaign name, it just automatically names it. I'll leave it like that for now. Over here we have the content sources, exactly the same as the normal wizard. You can use a single use article. Again, you can take them from eZine, Article Builder, Leading Articles, Content Machine, and Article Forge. They will be saved in the Article Manager just the same. This is exactly the same as the regular wizard. Failing that, you can use the Article Manager, which is exactly the same again. You set up for the tier 1s, set up for the tier 2s, and if you're, sorry about that, if you need them, you can set up the bookmarks. We don't have bookmarks in the template we're using, as you remember. Your list of templates is here, including the one that we just used, social skills. You need to set up the number of profiles, number of days, number of links. We're going to set down to 1 and set up when it's going to start. Again, I'm just going to put 2017 in here. Now you see that looping is missing from here, but not to worry, I'll show you how to turn that on in a minute. This is basically just a very quick optimized way of creating a campaign, and even with me talking, that took just a few seconds. Again, it has to download an email, create the campaign, and then it's done. There we are, it has completed itself. We can now close this off, or if you wanted to, you could create another one exactly the same. Just change the start date. And you'll see when it automatically names them, it uses the keyword and then calls it a turbo campaign. So we have created 2 campaigns there which are basically identical, with the one exception that this one has been looped. Now if we wanted to do looping on the turbo one, all we need to do is right click, select edit looping, run campaign in loop mode, then we can set it up to loop exactly the same as before, just any way you want. And again, the same with the accounts, you can have it reuse the accounts. So the same, we can have it reuse the social network and the premium social network. Loop moding, are you sure? Yeah, we save it. So now they are 100% the same, and you saw how fast that was. It is unbelievable. To do this by hand in SEnuke would probably take you about 30 minutes. To do this by hand without SEnuke at all, it would take you a few hours. So we have done a few hours work in a couple of seconds. Now in the next video we'll go through a few of the extra features built into TNG, such as this magic little icon here, the crowd searcher, and a few others. But until then, keep on nuking.